You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Hello to you all, welcome to the show. This is Rob Freeman with the Out of the Matrix show for What Am I On? Show number 17. Wow, that's nearly 3-4 seasons, isn't it? Yeah, so how are you all doing? Somebody in the chat room, just make sure my voice is alright. Oh, Lisa's saying hi. We said hi ages ago, didn't we, love? Oh, loads of messages come through. I can't read all them because I can't multitask yet, but I'll get through them anyway. Yeah, so welcome to show number 17. Strange show for me this week. What I mean by strange is, I decided to do something different this week. I think I say that every week, don't I? Yeah, but if you look on the home page, on the main page, I've not rehearsed. I've not prepared anything as such. Oh, right, Lisa, well, just saying hi because she's talking. Okay, hi, love. I sound quite jolly today, don't I? But I'm not. I'm a bit down, which is understandable. Yeah, so tonight's show, slightly different to what I would normally do. I've not prepared anything as such, so if you can see on the homepage it says off the cuff unplugged. Yeah, so obviously we've had some really sad news, obviously, for George, who suddenly passed away, and I think it's hit us all for six. So I picked a playlist tonight for my songs, and I would say the songs I've chosen, for some reason, remind me of George in some way or some fashion. So yeah, well, how many songs have I got tonight? I think I've got about 8 or 9 songs tonight. And they remind me of George for some reason, so bear with me because it's my sort of personal playlist tonight. Okay, so it is George's funeral tomorrow. I think the details are in the chat room. I'll read them out in a bit anyway, so I'll be going on to Liverpool for that. So like I say, it's hit us all for 6 really. I think it's just been just over a week. I didn't do anything for 6 days, which is not like me. I usually research and go mad and get my head stuck in documents, books and everything. And when I got this terrible news, I didn't do anything for 6 days. I didn't look at a document, a book or anything. So I think we are all grieving, and I think we're still in a little bit of shock. Well, I know I am. So tonight, I thought about 48 hours ago, for tonight, I thought, it's no good being down. I'm not going to be down anymore. George is an absolutely fantastic spirit. All he's done is moved on to a different place or a different dimension. You can never die. It's just a sad thing that we're going to miss him. So I'm not going to be morbid. I'm going to be miserable, and I prefer tonight to celebrate knowing George. And celebrate. I only know him for, I think, we're just short of 6 months. And I would say we enjoyed more in that 6 months, should I say, than I've had like friends for 20 years. And everybody who met George, I think we had a special relationship. Like I had a certain relationship. Excuse me. It's all right. I'm not joking. I'm just coughing. Yeah, I think I had a special relationship with George, and I think individually we all did. We all had a slightly different relationship. And that's what was great about George. He didn't play a role. He wasn't false. And the minute I met him at our launch party. I think he was the first person that I actually sat down and spoke to. And I think many people have said it. You just click with George straight away. There's no airs and graces. There's no falseness. Just chat and just be yourself. Yeah, so it was lovely. So tonight's show is dedicated to George in a way. And George had a fighting spirit, you know. George was quiet. He was unassuming. In large crowds, he was very quiet. But I tell you what, that man was a warrior, a spiritual warrior, I call him. And the amount of knowledge, when you first met George, you had no idea of the depth of knowledge that he actually had. So, oh, my kids are shouting in the other room for some reason. Just ignore if you get any background noise. Sounds like they're having a party in my living room. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to stop being morbid. I'm going to be celebrating that I knew George, that we knew George, and we're going to meet again, aren't we? So, it's all right. Metatron there in the chat room is laughing. Yeah, my kids are jumping about like chimpanzees. Right. Okay, so for tonight's show, a bit strange for me. Nothing really prepared, although I've winged it many times. That's my secret plan. I've winged everything. This is show number 17. I've winged 16 shows in a row so far, and nobody's noticed. I think you're on to me. Yeah, so tonight all about where I really came from. Before, when was it? 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I learned all the law stuff and all the money stuff, like I've said before, out of necessity. But before that, I was learning stuff about what is existence, what is reality. I realised about energies, about everything is energy, everything comes from energy, that we are energy, that there is one source of energy, coming from wherever it's coming from, the cosmos, universe, or whatever, from the depths of space rather, whatever it is, we are all energy. There's an energy coming from there, a conscious energy, and we are just expressions of it. So I was learning all this stuff a long time ago, even before I did this law stuff. So this is what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Is we live in a insane world, don't we? It's absolutely mental. It's being run by psychotic. I'm going to just reading that. Okay. It's run by psychotic people, lunatics basically. But they've had to create a matrix. We know it's false. This construct that we're having to engage with every day, having to interact with. So what I thought I'd do tonight is I'm going to stick a song on now. Rob's kids are funny. Yeah, I'm going to stick a song on, thrash my kids, come back, and then... I'll tell you what I have got as well later on. Oh, this is brilliant, this. This has nothing to do with the stuff... Oh, my kids are going berserk. This has nothing to do with energies and stuff. Oh, sounds like they're having a party, doesn't it? I strung some words together. I like anagrams. This is just a side note. I like anagrams and changing stuff around. In the chat room about 2 weeks ago, I was changing famous people's names around and coming up with some good stuff. And then the day after, a friend of mine who doesn't listen to the station sent me a fantastic text message. And I've got some words, because words are so important, that are anagrams that we can swap them round.
CMR Critical Mass Radio in association with We Are Change Manchester and Freedom Northwest. Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station. CMR is for people who want answers, because now it's our turn.
Yeah, welcome back, Gareth Ike there with Remember Who You Are. Well, this is chaos at my house. I don't know what's got into the kids. I don't know what's got into the dog. People are knocking, so I'm distracted. So you'll have to just bear with me tonight. It's all gone mental tonight. It's thrown me out my stride. Yeah, so good song that. I like that. Gareth Ike, isn't it? Remember Who You Are. Okay, I'll tell you what I want to do. I'm going to get onto these word things. What time are we on? Oh, 19 minutes past 7. That's brilliant. Yeah, let's get onto these words, because I think you might like these. Well, I like them anyway, because I'm a bit strange, aren't I? I like words. Yeah, message in the chat room there. George having a laugh. Yeah, I bet he is as well. That scouse bashing I did. Oh, I've got some more scouse bashing to do in a bit, I think. Oh, yeah, I will. I'll do some scouse bashing. Do you know, I can't live without at least once a week doing a bit of scouse bashing. I just love it. Right, yeah, words, yeah, I talk to myself, by the way, so you'll have to get used to that. Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, in the chat room, I was messing about, I was doing anagrams and changing people's names, changing people's names round and words around and see what I could come up with. And then just by coincidence, I got a text message off my mate Dave the very next day with some similar sort of stuff, and he doesn't listen to the radio, so how's that for synchronicity? Yeah, so, excuse me, I love stuff to do with words and stuff. I'm always, because we know what a deep meaning they've got. So, this is what I'm doing in the chat room. A couple of weeks ago, I was just doodling sort of thing, and we're listening to a show, and I thought, well, I'll just change a few people's names around just to see what we come up with. I did a show a few months ago about how your mind works and how you take in information. Somebody in the chat room, Lisa, there saying the house might fall down. Well, nothing's on fire, love, so far, so fingers crossed. Yeah, I did a couple of months ago a show on how your mind works, and just briefly, your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, if you like, takes in 95% of everything. It can process 4.5 billion bits per second, whereas your conscious mind, which is only about 5%, can process 2 million bits of information a second. So your subconscious never switches off, and it takes in 4.5 billion, or it processes 4.5 billion with a B, bits of information a second. So based on that, this is why words are so important. When you see a word or hear a sound or see a symbol, for instance, let's pick a symbol. McDonald's M sign, M for McDonald's. Well, your subconscious takes it in everything, just sees the M, the same as, for instance, if you turn it on its side, a number 3. It hasn't got time to differentiate between numbers, words, colours, pictures. It just absorbs the whole thing and has an effect on you. So with that in mind, I started doing some anagrams and changing stuff around, and this is how our subconscious actually sees it. So what did I do? I changed the name David Icke round, and I got Dead Vicky. Just means nothing really, does it? Dead Vicky. Somebody mentioned Ted Heath, so I changed it round through an anagram. Ted Heath, the anagram of Ted Heath is the death, and he was horrible, wasn't he? So that's a good one. Let's see what else we've got. These are just anagrams that I was doodling with at one time. Global Elite, I'll Go Beat All. Coincidence. Well, that one's rubbish, that one. I'll miss that one off. Oh, Michael Tessarian, my favourite researcher. The anagram of Michael Tessarian, what did I get? I got a lion's star chime. So, anagram of Michael Tessarian is a lion's star chime. I thought that was quite interesting. A couple more. What have we got here? Oh, does anybody ever remember Charlie Veach? Charlie Veach, he was part of the Love Police. Used to go around hugging people and stuff. American, living in London. Somebody says, yeah, it's interesting. Oh, it's not somebody, it's Lisa. Yeah, says it's interesting. Listen to this one, Lisa, you're going to like this one. So, Charlie Veach, American, living in London, big part of the truth movement, or whatever you want to call it, wanted 9/11 and 7/7 reopening, did a lot of good work. I think last year, or slightly, maybe 2 years, I think about a year and a half ago, went on a BBC documentary, I think it was, and then completely changed round, went against the truth movement. I think he went on a visit to the 9/11 site, and completely changed and went completely opposite from everything in the truth movement. So his name was Charlie Veach. So an anagram of Charlie Veach, you're not going to believe this, is rich, evil, cheat. So there's got to be something in it, hasn't there? And this is how our subconscious sees that. When we see the words rich, evil, cheat, we're also seeing the words Charlie Veach. So that's interesting, isn't it? Unbelievable. So, and this is me doing this a couple of weeks ago. The last one, I did David Icke and Michael Tessarian and all these people, and I thought, well, I'll do Rob Freeman. So I stuck Rob Freeman in, anagrammed it round, changed it round. You're not going to believe this. I had a court case not long ago for driving whilst disqualified, didn't I? Well, the anagram of Rob Freeman is a ban for me. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Okay, I'm just going to... Bear with me, I've got pen and paper. I'm going to do Lisa Shunka Hanka Wanga Hang Wanga. No, I can't do that. That's just too much. Yeah, so, a ban for me. A ban for me. That's Rob Freeman. So, the very next day, my mate Dave sends me a text message out of the blue, and you can't believe this. This is going to blow your mind, this. For people who don't think there's anything in words, there's something wrong with you. Because I think words are the biggest thing that we are enslaved with, apart from the money. So I get a text message, I think when was it? I don't know. Last Wednesday morning, off my mate Dave. Sends me this, listen to this. He was doing anagrams, or somebody sent it to him. I thought, well, synchronicity, because he don't listen to the shows or anything. I thought, wow. Okay, get a load of this one. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, the words Princess Diana. Okay, anagram them, change them round. Guess what you get? You get... End is a car spin. Check it out, get a pen and paper, check it out yourself. Princess Diana, change it round, it becomes end is a car spin. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Way, honestly, way. Do it yourself, get a pen and paper, Princess Diana, end is a car spin. Okay. Astronomer, that was Moonstarer. That's a good one. The eyes is they see. Well, that's pretty simple, that one. Unbelievable, this one. Unbelievable. Listen to this one. Desperation. Anagram it round. A rope ends it. This is just too much for coincidence, isn't it? This is just too much. I know one of our hosts, Paul Rippon, who does the Unpen show with Andy. He is dissected words. He loves all the stuff, but I don't think he's even seen this. Okay. 2 more, and I'll play a song on and go on to something different. Yeah, definitely no coincidence. Okay, good. What about this? The words, a decimal point. 3 words, a decimal point. Anagram it round, and it becomes, I'm a dot in place. Wow. I'm a dot in place. This is using all the letters, no letters spare, no adding or taking away letters. The whole letter's a decimal point becomes I'm a dot in place. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Somebody came. Oh, Dave, there. I Chemtrail. Yeah. I did a show on reverse speech. You know, Chemtrail's just put in the chat room there that there's a chap called John Kelly in the USA, and he does the reverse speech. I did this, Dave, on one of my shows quite a long time ago. My son's got an Android phone, and it's got a facility where you can speak into it and record and play it backwards. And I did quite a big section on my show with this. I think it was just before the Olympics. And we did some great ones, unbelievable. In fact, I'll get them up and dig them out for next week. And the very last one we did, Dave, was we put in the Olympics and played it back, and it came out as Scared Millions, and that was the reverse speech. So you're telling me, you know, there's so much in these words. Okay, so the grand finale, before I stick another song on, is, what is it? Oh yeah, you're going to love this one. This is more for the fellas rather than the ladies. Mother-in-law. My mother-in-law. Mother-in-law. Okay, an anagram of mother-in-law is Woman Hitler. I'll just say that again because it makes me laugh. Grand finale, mother-in-law is Woman Hitler. That says it all, doesn't it? Says it all for me anyway. See, George would have loved this. George would have been rolling about now. I know, Woman Hitler. Oh, Kev, how are you going, mate? All right. Woman Hitler. Brilliant. So that's it for words. I can't think of any more now, so yeah, we'll sling that. I've got loads of paper on my desk here. So Woman Hitler. Yeah, so what do I want to do? I'm going to stick another song on. Oh, my kids are finally quieting them down. We had a funny turn there, funny 10 minutes. So what can I play here? Let's have a look. Oh, they're all like quite sad songs. Well, they're not meant to be sad. It's just how we're feeling at the time. Yeah, hi, welcome back. Yeah, I like that song. That was the Memory by Mayday Parade. They're quite a new band to me. They're not a new band, but they are to me. Yeah, good that, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So yeah, good anagram stuff. That wasn't it? Interesting stuff. So a lot in words. Got to be a lot in words. Okay, so tonight's main theme of the show, really, if you can say there is a theme, is that trying to make sense of this insanity. That it's abound, isn't it? It's everywhere. It's in every avenue you can think of. When I first decided to, when Paul first asked me to become a host on the show, he said to me, "Can you think of a name for your show? Get back to me." And after I spoke to him, I think within 5 minutes, the Out of the Matrix just popped out at me. I don't know why. It just came to me. And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? We have been, or they have constructed a matrix for us that the 99% think is reality, is real life, and we now know that it's not. Oh, a bit of danger zone here. There's a bit of crackling going off in the background. I hope nothing catches fire. My son's cooking an omelette, so that should be interesting. If I suddenly leave you, don't worry, it's because I'm covered in smoke and trying to put a fire out, but I think it should be alright. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so the matrix they constructed for us, this fake reality. There's people in the chat room now panicking. Don't worry, don't down 999, we're alright yet. In case you wonder what I'm on about, I once was doing a show about a month ago. In fact, George absolutely loved this. He was on the floor, rolling, tears coming out of his eyes. I'd sat on the headphones, so I'd had to sellotape them together. They were slipping, and they were crackling in the background. In fact, you can listen to this on podcast. And a pan caught fire, and I was that focused. Talk about focused attention. I was that focused. The kitchen caught fire. There was a funny smell coming, and within 5 minutes, I couldn't even see my computer screen because there was smoke everywhere. Well, George absolutely loved it. I don't think he listened to it live, but he heard it on the podcast. You could hear the kids. You could hear my kids and the mum. The mum was staying there at the time, running backwards and forwards with buckets of water. Dog were barking. He had smoke coming off him. He was singed. Smoke detectors going off. Everything were going berserk. And what did Rob Freeman do? Trooper soldiered on. The trooper that he is just carried on. Just kept wafting me hand. Winged it. Couldn't even see the screen, the computer screen, and carried on. It turned out one of my best shows, that. So if I suddenly go quiet and you hear some panicking footsteps, it's because it's caught fire again. I just have a little smell. No, all good so far. Yeah, so, where was I? I get distracted really easy. I think I'm going a bit senile as I'm getting older. Yeah, so, Construct Matrix, this horrible matrix that we want to step away from. I thought of the name really quick, but I didn't think of it, just came to me. So my whole intention for us all is to gather information as fast as possible, as in as much depth as possible, share it with each other, and come up with a workable solution to stop these. I know it's not 9 o'clock, but stop these fuckers carrying on with what they're doing. They're psychos. They're out of control, and like I say, they've hijacked every single avenue of society, if you want to call it. They are there with their horrible, horrible agenda, this New World Order agenda. So how do we get out of the Matrix? Well, I'm going to be doing, through this radio station, Critical Mass Radio, a series of one-day workshops starting in the new year, I think. I think the first one might be in Liverpool. Together with Critical Mass Radio and myself, we're going to be doing one-day workshops, how to basically stop the only way I can think of to bring this system down, or to make this system fail, this matrix, to step away from it, is to stop feeding them the money. But how do we do that? The money is the number one oppressor, the number one tool of enslavement, as far as I'm concerned. So, how do we stop feeding these horrible corporations that are run by psychos, that are part of the matrix? How do we stop paying them and survive? And this is what I'm all about. You can campaign for chemtrails forever and a day. You can write letters for fluoride, and it's all relevant stuff. It's all great stuff. You can ask for 7/7, an investigation to be reopened, another investigation for 9/11. There's a million and one things you can do, and as far as I'm concerned, it just all gets ignored. But you stop paying these bastards. I don't care if it's 1 penny or £1 million. Every penny that we stop paying them, we're a little bit nearer to where we want to be, and it's free from this economic enslavement. The money aspect is the number one thing. Sorry, I've just banged my mic there if you get a bit of interference. Yeah, so after studying all this stuff for years, all about energies, all about what reality is, which I'm going to cover later on, the only tool I could come up with is to stop paying them. And so I jumped in, and this is what I want to share on these one-day workshops. And it's not difficult. It's when I try and do a talk, or when I try and do one, when I do a talk presentation, it lasts usually about 2 hours, or maybe 2.5, or maybe 1.5. But I can't get it out. I can't get the information that let me just explain. My head is like a huge filing cabinet. It don't look very big from outside, but it must be huge inside. And everything that I've learned, especially in this last 5 years, it's stored in there somewhere. And all I've got to do is just pull open the drawer, and it's there in file. I can seem to remember every single experience I've had with this law and money stuff, and every fact seems to be lodged in there in my nugget. So when I do these talk presentation things, I have to condense the information I've got in the time limit I've got. And so far, I've not been able to get anything like out as much as I wanted to. So, discussing it with some colleagues and friends, what I realised is, Lisa's saying, I wish her head was like that. No, your head's pretty, love. Mine's just a massive filing cabinet. Yeah, discussed it with a few friends and a few colleagues, and what we've realised is something like 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. with breaks and lunch and stuff, going through it steadily. Like I say, I only pay one thing, and that's my mortgage. Now, if I can do it, like I keep saying, I'm just a lump from Sheffield. I'm not super intelligent. I'm not particularly gifted really with anything, but I did get off my arse and have a go, and it gets easier and easier. And if I have got any sort of talent or special gift or anything, it's simplifying things. And what looks very, very complicated turns out to be really simple. So that's what the workshops will be all about. Critical Mass Radio and myself going to Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, up north, maybe even a little bit further south towards the Midlands. I've got Sheffield coming, Nottingham, Derby, all these areas. And this is what I want to do, and this is what we want to do. Get it on the road, learn it. It is simple. And we start off simple. We take it in through a day. It might be over the weekend. You might have to come back the following day. But like I say, unless we do it, unless we've got the bottle to do it, unless we realise that it's all about fear, and we are starting to. Somebody's just sent me a message. It's making me laugh. And it's all about fear, isn't it? It's a fear-based system. The money is fear. These scary bailiffs, the scary debt collectors, whatever it is. And I'm a big believer in mirroring things back. I've been saying this now, and people must be fed up. They've been listening to me for about 2 years saying I'm mirroring it back. But I do. Just mirror back what they're doing. Don't fight their system. It's a fantastic system. It's probably took 5,000 years for it to be perfected. So we're not going to beat that overnight, are we? So I thought 5 years ago, well, if I can't beat them, I'll just mirror it back and do what they're doing. Dave says the fear of having no money. Well, that's me, Dave. I was skint. I'm all right now because I'll have to pay for anything so I can manage. So, yeah, there is a fear of having no money, isn't there? Yeah, so I'll mirror it back and use their system against them and ask for a bit of proof, and they can never prove it. And so I don't have to pay anything. So that's how it all works. Cheers, Kevo. That's how it works. It's dead easy. It's dead easy. So what we'll do is on these workshops, I seem to be dragging it on about these workshops, don't I? What we'll do is we'll do it stage by stage, bit by bit, and we'll start off on the easy stuff. 2 things that they can never do. Guys, you're not going to believe this. I'm having to pause. There is smoke in my kitchen again. Just bear with me for 2 minutes. I'm just talking to my son. Is it on fire, mate? No. What's the smoke then? Have you just overcooked it? Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. That's live on air. At least you know it's real here. There's smoke in my kitchen yet again. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll carry on. As long as it's not on fire, we're all right. Okay, I'm panicking there. I've got smoke again, can you believe it? I need to wear a blazer, don't I? I want to wear a blazer. That was rubbish, wasn't it? Where did I get to? Okay. I've lost myself now. In fact, there's smoke in my kitchen yet again. It's George, I'm telling you. George is playing a trick on me. You, Scousers, I tell you, they don't know when to stop. They do not know when to stop. Cheers, George, playing tricks on me. Where did I get to? Yeah, one-day workshop things. I'm all thrown now. Yeah, so there are a couple of easy things to start with. Is 2 things that they can never really take action. In fact, they can't take any action. Is water rates and TV license. Both are a load of bollocks. They can never enforce anything on you. So on these workshops, I don't want people to start getting themselves in any sort of trouble or panicking or worrying or anything. You just take it stage by stage, bit by bit, and when you want to finally feel confident enough to have a go at something, we'll have a go. Now, this is not an excuse for people running bills up and not paying for them. It doesn't work like that. My mate Dave I spoke to yesterday on Skype said, what did he say? He said, Rob, you've had a load of success. And I says, yeah, but Dave, I don't know why, because there's other people far more intelligent than me doing stuff, and they're still paying the council tax, and they're still paying loans off and stuff, and yet they're more intelligent than me. Excuse me, bit of smoke damage. And he came out with a great comment, and he said, yeah, but Rob, the difference is that you believe it's going to work. And I did a show about self-belief a few weeks ago, and he's right. You have to put energy into this. If you are in fear, is it trepidation, I think they call it? If you are worried about it and you're trying to survive financially and you can't, and you're worried about bills and you're approaching it with no belief that you can do it, it doesn't work. And I think this is why some far more intelligent people than me are getting arrested for stuff and are getting bailiffs and getting things taken away, the cars and the possessions. And it's not that they're not intelligent enough, it's that they have to have belief, and you have to have belief. So that's where I'm coming from. I think the mate's right. Once you get this information, knowledge is, as they say, knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is the power, isn't it? If I learn something and sit in my bedroom and do nothing about it, though that knowledge I've got is not really powerful, is it? It's not power, is it? But if I apply that knowledge, then that's the real power, isn't it? It's applying it. Yeah, so I've got I've got a nice quote here. This is a quote from a British novelist and scriptwriter, Dresden James. It's a pseudonym, it's not his real name, but Dresden James. He wrote scripts in the 60s for The Avengers, The Saints, remember those programmes? The original Mission Impossible, Joe 90, Randall and Hopkirk. So he was a novelist and scriptwriter, sorry. So Dresden James, this is a quote from him. I like quotes. And I thought I'd write this down for you. Listen to this. This perfectly sums up the situation that we are facing today. Dresden James said, when a well-packaged web of lies has been sold gradually to the masses over generations, the truth will seem utterly preposterous, and its speaker a raving lunatic. And that's bang on, isn't it? I've been called a lunatic now for 5 years. Yeah, I'm glad people call me. They say you're out of your mind. I want to be out of my mind. The mind is the thing that talks you out of things. The mind has been manipulated by the powers that be, the powers that were, the ruling elite, powers that were, because they're on the back foot now. They've manipulated our minds. So, in a way, I want to be out of my mind. Not their mind. They've created it, so I want to be out of it, don't I? So I like it when people call me mental or a lunatic or I'm out of my mind. Good. It's people like us that have got off as arse. Dreamers. We used to get called a daydreamer as a kid. You're a dreamer. Oh, you want to do this, you're a dreamer. Good. It's dreams that make things. It's dreams that make us successful. Everything that you can imagine that was successful started with a dream, didn't it? Or at least an idea that turned into a dream. So yeah, call me a dreamer, call me out of my mind, call me a lunatic, I don't care. So what I've realised is that when you put your energy into something like this, like I say, it's not for just getting out stuff and not paying it. I said at our conference, which was a great conference. I've not been on air since that, by the way, because of these sad events that happened with George. This is I didn't do a show last week, so I've not really spoke since our conference. But yeah, great success, brilliant conference, went really well. Some great speakers there. I particularly liked Rob B's presentation, fantastic, and Ben Emlyn Jones from Apanmore Radio, from the Apanmore show on Critical Mass Radio. Brilliant, loved it, all about aliens and UFOs, brilliant. Different take on things, but great. Yeah, so they were my two favourite talks on the day. Yeah, so great conference that. I forgot what I was saying about it. Why did I get onto the conference? I don't know. I've gone. Do you know, sometimes I get brain freeze. It goes. Anyway, so yeah, that was a great conference. I forgot what the point was, why I even went to the conference. It'll come back in a bit. Yeah, so, they're not paying us stuff, so I can't get out all the information, so these one-day events, or they may even be two-day events, like I say, we all should be now doing something. We all should be doing something now. Not just the financial stuff. It's down to us, guys, isn't it? We can't rely now on the 99%. We can't rely on these people. They are not going to wake up. I'm not saying that let's forget about them. We can't leave them behind, obviously, because they are our brothers and sisters, aren't they? But they're not going to wake up. Excuse me. I'm just having a little drink because I've got a bit of smoke here. Not as bad as last time, though. Yeah, so we have got an obligation to each other, to our kids, and to each other. I'm just reading a message here I've just been sent. Yeah, that's great, that. Paul actually sent me a message, and let's see if I can get this right, Paul. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Yeah, I love it. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Great quote. And that's it. They think of us as foolish and stupid. The powers, the ruling elite, they know we're not stupid. But the masses, they've been so programmed, haven't they? They just think we're mental, don't they? Good, let them think we're mental. So yeah, I've got another quote here. I love quotes. I don't know why. They just get me motivated and get me inspired. So this is a great quote. And this is where I'm really coming from. I think that's why I was mentioning the conference. I think Rob B, he did a talk all about sort of black and white, factual, let's get back and we do this is what happens. And then Ben's was the other end of the scale about, sort of UFOs and strange phenomena, strange things happening. And they were both on. Then I came on third. And I can understand them both because I came from sort of Ben's side, and then, like I say, last 5 years, I moved over to what Rob's talking about, so I could see it from both. And so what I've realised is, I guess what I'm trying to say is why I've had so much success and why we're going to have success is it is about not paying stuff to get out of this matrix, to bring this system crashing to its knees. But we have to factor in consciousness. Do not leave consciousness at the door. The reason it's working is that I believe, in fact I don't believe, I know it's going to work. And the reason it works is that I don't pay things because there is nothing with which to pay. Money has no value. The perceived financial obligations are not real anyway. They're a fiction, and because they're a fiction, they're not real. And this is why it works for me, because no debt, every single debt is unlawful. Every loan is unlawful. Every mortgage, every demand for money placed on you is unlawful. And so, coming from a standpoint of honour, that's why it works for me, because I factor in consciousness. I remember being a guest on, I keep flitting back to George through the entirety of this show, because the man had such an impact on us all. But I remember I was a guest on his show quite a few weeks ago now, and it was before my court case. They were trying to get me locked up for 6 months for driving whilst disqualified, and I was chatting to George. And I remember saying to George, in fact, I spoke to him about this since, and I said, George, I won't get any prison time, I won't get 6 months. And he said, what do you mean? I said, it's because I won't bring it into my consciousness that I'm going to get locked up. And at that stage, it really did look like I was going to get locked up. And George just a very deep understanding of stuff, George, like myself, but George knew all different stuff, all about stuff like about reality creation, Egyptology myths, as well as the finance scam and the banking system and everything. Such a wide range of knowledge, George. And he knew exactly what I was coming from. And he said, yeah, he says, I love your thinking on it. If you don't bring it into your consciousness, it can't happen. And I decided to create my own reality a few years ago, maybe three or 4 years ago now, where I don't pay for anything because I can't afford it and because it's unlawful. And I almost got kicked out of my house last year for the mortgage. But once I've got a plan together now that I think, well, I know I want to get out in these one-day workshops where we can smash this mortgage industry to pieces. Again, it being unlawful. So based on that, once I've done that, that's it. I don't pay for anything. And if I can do it, somebody up my street can do it, or you can do it, or our friends can do it, and we can do it. I'm not saying get in trouble, I'm not saying go berserk, but we factor in consciousness because we are consciousness. And so there's a great quote here from Friedrich Nietzsche. Oh, if you've ever got a bit of time, read Nietzsche's stuff. He was a German philosopher and poet. Fantastic, Nietzsche. And this quote, I love this one. He said, as long as you consider the stars as something above your head, you will lack the eye of knowledge. Love it. So, if you look up and see the stars, and all you think is, oh, there's some stars up there above your head, you will lack the eye of knowledge. And what Nietzsche meant by that is that the stars, the planets, the sun, everything, we are part of that. We are that and that is us. We are all one energy. We are part of one energy. We are all made of the same stuff. And that's what he was getting at. Yeah, so like I say, the only tool I could think to fight back with is the finance stuff. And that's not what I'm all about, because people say, oh, Rob Freeman, who's that? Oh, he's that bloke who never pays out or don't want to pay out. And it's true. I am that bloke who don't want to pay out. But I only don't want to pay it because I can't. And it's unlawful. You know, Einstein was asked once what, in his opinion, was the best discovery or the best invention. And out of everything you can think of, relativity or anything you can think of, all the different equations and stuff, Einstein said the best invention was compound interest. Unbelievable. The very thing that's enslaving us. And what he meant is it's ingenious. What is compound interest? Okay, you borrow some money, that's called the principal. You get charged interest. Well, compound interest is ever growing. It's interest on the interest. In other words, it's an amount that can never ever be paid off, and it's designed to be that way. And that's what we kept in. Okay, so I'm going to stick another song on, and a bit of Bob and some different stuff. Okay, oh yeah, right. Going back to George again. I used to scouse bash all the time, didn't I? And you can't scouse bash, can't say it. You can't scouse bash against George. He's just so quick. It's far too quick for me. In fact, once on the opening of his show, he did hammer me. He absolutely hammered me. Verbally, he hammered me. Fantastic. So we used to. I used to tell George how fantastic Oasis was, and we used to pull each other's legs. He always used to rib me. Oasis. Oh, you mean the Beatles tribute band? And I used to say, no, George, no. The evolution of the Beatles. It's the Beatles evolved into Oasis. I used to go, rubbish and all that, but he was only pulling my leg. I think he quite liked them, really. So, oh, by the way, have I ever told you a lot about Oasis, that they are my favourite band? I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. But yeah, they are my favourite band of all time, and George knew that, so he used to rib me about it. So, knowing that John Lennon was George's hero, I thought I'd play you this, because my favourite band is Oasis, and this song here by Oasis is all about John Lennon, which was George's hero. So I'm playing this one for George. I know you're listening. I know you've just set fire to my pamphlet laugh, so I'll stick you this on. You might not like Oasis, but I know you love John Lennon. So this is Out of Time by Oasis. So, right, okay, what time we're on? Let me just check the time. Oh, 8 o'clock. So what we've got, 45 minutes. I've forgot to tell you I've got a really bad cold tonight. I'm surprised you've not heard me sniffling and stuff. So I only get 2 colds a year, one in winter and one in summer. And the summer one's usually nothing anyway. And I always get quite a bad one in winter. And it just happens to be today, doesn't it? Yeah, so bear with me. If you hear me sniffling and spluttering, just don't worry about it. It's just a normal show for me. I'm always spluttering, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to give you some really good information tonight. That's what my show's usually all about. But I thought, because I was under the weather, and because to be honest, we're going to pay my last respects to, colloidal silver. I've got some on it. Paul just said get some colloidal silver. Yeah, I've got some. You gave me some, mate, didn't you? I forgot to get that. I'll get that before bed, mate. Yeah, because I'm going to pay my last respects to George tomorrow. I've got to go to Liverpool, haven't I? So I've not really got loads of facts and stuff I usually fire stuff at you, don't I? And you can do this, and have you heard this? So I'm not going to be able to do that tonight, and because I'm under the weather as well. So just bear with me. If it seems like I'm not really giving you a lot of information that you used to, just don't worry about it. Okay, what we're going to do... Oh, let me see if I can find this. Bear with me. Just chat amongst yourselves. I did get this I was going to show you. See if I can click it up on me screen. Oh, I've got a lovely point to finish with here. I've got a friend called Majid who... I never return his calls. Sorry, I never return his text messages because I'm so busy. And he's a really nice lad, he is. So I don't think he listens to the station. But if you're listening, Majid, I'm really sorry. I will get back to you. He sent me a lovely poem. I'm going to finish off with that. Yeah, because it's quite inspiring. He also sent me a couple of quotes. What's this one? Oh yeah, this is a nice quote. No man can tell whether he is rich or poor by turning to his ledger. It is the heart that makes a man rich. He is rich according to what he is. Sorry, he is rich according to what he is, not according to what he has. So I like that. So this is by my friend Majid. He's a nice lad. If you hear my dog in the background, I think he wants to go out. He's just whining. Yeah, he also sent me this. This is good. This is reported by Habu Herrera. Okay. This is a quote sent by Majid. Once the Prophet was speaking to us when a Bedouin came and asked him, "When will the last day be?" The Messenger of Allah replied, listen to this, "When the practice of honouring a trust is lost, expect the last day." Anybody who knows me knows I harp on about trust. I'll just read you that again. When will the last day be? The Messenger of Allah replied, "When the practice of honouring a trust is lost, expect the last day." The man asked, "How could it be lost?" The Prophet replied, "When the government is entrusted to the undeserving people, then wait for the last day." Interesting, isn't it? When the government is entrusted to the undeserving people, then wait for the last day. Yeah, and to me, that's the times we're in now, isn't it? We've entrusted the government, the horrible people that they are. We have put all our trust in them from what our mums and dads have told us. And now Paul's just said, "Wow, it's fantastic. I don't know how old that is, Paul. It may be centuries old, but it's unbelievable, isn't it?" A nice picture there in the chat room. Yeah, it may be centuries old, but I don't know how old it is. There's no date on it. I don't even know who said it, but yeah. We've entrusted government, haven't we? And they've just took the piss, haven't they? And that's what it's all about as far as I'm concerned. It's all about trust. And we need to rearrange it again. Like I say, they've not got the power. We've given them the control of that power through being tricked, through being deceived, through the stage magician. We've been distracted, and we've just given up. We've just, through being apathetical, is that even such a word? Through apathy, we've just given the control of the power away. I've said this a few times now. We haven't given the power away. You can't give the power away. Like I said about the stars in the sky and the universe, we are the power. It flows through us. We are it. But what we have given away is the control of that power through entrusting people. Who do you trust? We entrust politicians, lawyers, doctors, judges, police, school teachers, nurses, you name it, social workers, civil servants, military, you name it, we've entrusted them. And somewhere along the line, the ones that wear the uniforms and the dark suits in government, they've been tricked as well. And the ones controlling them have just taken the piss. They've just swapped it round, swapped the arrangement, the trust arrangement. That's what it is. It's a trust relationship. They swapped it round. Excuse me. And we've become trustees of our own trusts. The trustee is like an employee who gets told what to do. We've entrusted them. We've become trustees of our own trusts. And they are supposed to be working for us. They're all servants. They're supposed to be in service to us. And it's gone the other way around. We are now in service to them. You should never be in service to your government. You should never be subservient to your government. It's the other way around. Governments work for us, and this is what I'm getting to. We need to change that relationship back. We need to take back the control of our power. Just take it back. It's not hard to do. All we've got to do is rearrange it and inform them that's what we're doing. And to be honest, they won't do anything if we do that. They can't do anything. It's their system, and it's just that they've stepped forward to take control, and we've let them. Our parents let them, and their parents before them. Probably coming off a perceived Second World War victory, where everything was positive, and we're going to make this country great, and same with America, and we're going to make this nation great, and it's Britain, and we won the war, and all that bollocks. And so our grandparents were duped, and our parents were duped, and we've been duped up until now. So that's what it's all about. It's the horrible New World Order agenda, isn't it? And all they've really done, it's so simple, all they've really done is switch the arrangement round and said, don't worry, we'll take care of this, we'll do this for you, we'll do this, we'll do that. Distracted us with trinkets, with earn this and you can get this trophy and you can have this possession and nice house, nice car, nice clothes, jewellery, you'll be popular, everyone will love you. Geared it all up, and it's just all distraction and bollocks, isn't it? All we've got to do is turn it back round again. So this is where I'm coming from. This is why I want to get out on these sort of one-day workshops. Yeah, let's have a look at this. Oh, this is quite good. Another quote from Einstein. And this is what I mean about we're living in an insane world. Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Just read that again. Einstein's definition of insanity is, or was, doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's why we're living in an insane world, isn't it? That's exactly what has happened. What do we do? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the things that we do over and over again and expect a different result. Well, let's take government and politics. What do? We've got two parties, haven't we, to choose from? Well, three if you count those others, but it's a coalition, isn't it? So we've basically got a two-party state, two-party country, and what do we do? Every 4 years, we vote for one set of muppets, don't we? Then we might re-vote them back in again. 8 years goes down the line, the country goes even worse. We listen to all the promises from the other side. Then what do? We vote for that shite again, don't we? They have 4 years or 8 years, never fulfil the promises. Meanwhile, during that 4 or 8 years, the first lot that we've got rid of are now promising this, that and other. We entrusted them. What do? We vote back again for them in the hopes that it's going to be better, innit? And exactly, we do the same things over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's why it's an insane fucking society. Excuse me, I swore then. That's why it's an insane flipping society that we live in. Because we don't seek to change things. We just do the same things over and over and over again and expect a different result. Einstein also said that you can't... I can't read my writing there. Okay, he said you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking or the same consciousness that created it. And once again, he's right. You can't solve a problem that was created by a certain level of thinking, a certain way of thinking, a certain consciousness, and use that same way of thinking to solve the problem. You can't do that. And this is what I mean about factoring consciousness in. We have to think in a different way. This is what I'm all about. This is what wasn't the truth movement were all about. We have to think in a different way to what our parents did and to what their parents did and to what these evil people are doing. Excuse me. Yeah, so a different level of consciousness, a different way of thinking is what's going to solve the problems. What else? Well, I've got another one here from Einstein. It's probably going to be the last one from him. Oh, this is excellent, and this is where it's headed, folks. If we don't get a grip, and we are getting a grip, and I'm confident that we are going to beat these, but it's not easy, and it is a race. That's why it's called the human race. It's also a fight. It's a war. It's a psychological war. It's a war for our souls. And Einstein said, "I do not know what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." Yeah, I like that. I do not know what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. In other words, we're going to annihilate each other, or they are going to annihilate us, aren't they? So, different level of thinking, different level of consciousness. We can't get out of this shite by thinking like the same people who created the shite. We've got to think in a different way. And how do we think in a different way? We realise about energy. We realise about consciousness. We realise that every living soul, we are all one family. No matter what colour your skin is, black, white, brown, red, yellow, whatever you are, whatever nationality you are, whichever geographical landmass you're living in, what language you speak. But not only that, whether you're human, whether you're an animal, even whether you're vegetation, tree life, the whole planet. The American Indians had it, they knew exactly what was happening. And even beyond our planet, where we are all one with the same energy, slightly different expressions of the same energy. And this is the level of thinking, the level of consciousness that I wanted to sort of put out tonight. And this is what I'm really about. Dr. Watson, hi mate, they're in the chat room. Yeah, they have dehumanised the Earth. Yeah, they've tried to dehumanise it, mate. And they've dehumanised us, haven't they, mate? They've corporatised us with the legal fiction name, and they've made corporations have human rights and humans with corporate rights. Yeah, that's the game, isn't it? The transhumanism, the progression that is from the eugenics movement from the Second World War. The plan is to dehumanise us, but it can't work. It don't work. We are not only are we human, we're above human. We're superhuman. We're super consciousness that is infinity. And once you realise that, it sounds bollocks, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh, Rob Freeman's talking bollocks because he's got a cold. But I've known this for a long, long time. This is what I mean about creating your reality and coming away from the illusion that they've created. So, yeah, you're right, mate. They are trying to dehumanise everything, but it's not going to work. Too many people have now awoken. Yeah, so I'm going to play another song. Seems to be playing a lot of music tonight. As you can tell, I'm a little bit down about it, as we all are, but I'll feel much better tomorrow. After we say goodbye to George tomorrow, but in the earthly realm, in this 3D, three-dimensional construct, we're only saying goodbye in this. It's never goodbye. We'll all meet again, and I think we've always known each other anyway, and that's what I meant when you meet George. And I want to meet the other people from this radio station. It's as if we've known each other not for weeks, months, like it was. It's like we've known each other, and it's not even for years. To me, it's like we've always known each other, and I think deep down, spiritually speaking, soul, if you want to call it, I think we've known each other forever, haven't we? And we're going to know each other forever. So that's my way of coping with things and realising that it's only a temporary loss that George is not here at the moment in this physical realm. But he'll be up there taking the piss. I know he will. He's a scouser, isn't he? So he's going to be up there taking the piss. Okay, so what time are we on? 20 past 8. I've got about, what have I got? 20 minutes. That's just right, because I've not got a great load of information anyway tonight. So, what did I want to tell you? Yeah. Oh, after this, there's no live Razor's Edge show tonight. Alex is not doing his show, but fantastic, a tribute. When I finish about 8:45 tonight, and at 9 o'clock till 11 p.m, there is a recorded prisoner broadcast, and it's a tribute to George, to the Reverend. So yeah, so stay for that. I don't know exactly which show it is, but George did some fantastic shows, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, we'll be listening to that. Well, I won't be able to listen to that. It is recorded, so I'll get it on pod anyway. I'm actually doing it 9 o'clock tonight, fingers crossed, a a Skype presentation, a live presentation. It's kind of a last-minute job, this, for the Ashton meeting group. They over at Ashton in Makerfield, they meet every couple of weeks. And by link up, on webcam, I'm doing a bit of a presentation and beaming it into them, so they've got to look at my ugly mug for about an hour and a half. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's about 9 o'clock, so it gives me 15 minutes to get it sorted. I've got to try and I've got a new webcam, I don't even know how to put it in, so I've got 15 minutes after I finish here on Critical Mass Radio to stick in a webcam and then get on a live link up to the Ashton crew. But yeah, I'll do it somehow. Barring any fires in my house, I'll do it. Okay, so I'm doing that at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to listen to the recorded prisoner broadcast after that. Okay, so the information I'm going to be giving out at Ashton is what I'm going to be giving out on these one-day workshops, but obviously in a lot more depth. And what I've tried to do, and I've said it before, is I almost got kicked out of my house last year. In fact, it was exactly a year. Almost got it repossessed. And so I've studied it like mad in the background for a year, armed with other information and some other great people doing stuff on mortgages. I believe now that we've got a package now. It's about a 3-part package here, and some stuff I've come across now, which I'm going to put out at the workshops. And I think we can smash this mortgage industry to pieces. All it is that the mortgage is fraudulent anyway. The procedure that we create the money, I've said it before, but we create the money with our signature. The mortgage people pretend to lend it back to us. They lend our own money back to us. We pay 3 times the original value. We pay, remember the Einstein quote, the compound interest. We pay 3 times back. We pay loads of interest, which is unlawful. It wasn't a loan in the first place. The procedure that they use as well, the way they set it up, is all fraudulent as well. That's some more information I've got. And to make it even worse, and this is what I'm going to be presenting in the workshops, the address and the charge, they place a charge on your property when you borrow money. When you have a mortgage, they put a charge on your property so that if you don't pay, it gets triggered and they repossess it. I've got a couple of friends at the moment who are just going through a repossession now. The charge that they place on your property is not even your property. It's impossible for them to place that charge on your address anyway. I've even come up with that, and that's the main one I'm coming up with. So, armed with all that, Dr. Watson there saying a loan must have joint risk. Yeah, you're right, mate. Equal consideration, isn't it? And they don't bring anything to the table, do they, Dr. Watson? They just shove all the liability on us and then trick us. Yeah, you're right, mate. But to make matters worse, the charge they place on your property is not even your property. They can't place a charge on your property. So if they can't place a charge on your property via a fraudulent mortgage, if you don't pay it back and the charge gets triggered, the charge is not on your property anyway, so how can they ever repossess you? Like I say, I've got a couple of friends at the moment going through repossession. I really feel for them. But it's only bricks and mortar. That's not the point. What I'm trying to do is get us to claim our houses back and withhold the mortgage payment until we are given some proof. And they can't prove it. They can't disprove what I'm saying and what others are saying. So, yeah, we can live in our houses and never have to pay for it again. It's kind of a stalemate where we can live it in what's called fee simple. We can own the land outright and never be kicked off it. And like I say, I've got many friends who have had repossession. And if I can put this package together that I've got, it's about a 3 or 4 part package. It's not all my work, but this stuff about your addresses. Excuse me. If I can get about 100 of us or more, what we do is we don't stop paying the mortgage if we still got our houses, if we're still paying, and we take it as a class action to a higher court and we demand proof. We demand these horrible mortgage people and banks to come up with the proof that we're seeking. This is our remedy. You prove what we're saying is false or a lie or wrong. We give them a time limit, we give them extra time, we take it to a higher court, and then what happens is there's a estoppel against them, there's a default against them, and we then claim for damages. So like I'm saying to anybody out there, if I can get this off at ground, we do it in a class action, and we carry on paying the mortgage until right at the last minute, so then we make the claim, and then the onus is on them. So we're acting in honour. They are at the moment in dishonour. Let's keep it that way. If we stop paying the mortgage until it's sorted, then we act in dishonour, which is why I almost got kicked out last year. So it's important to stay in honour. That's what it's all about. So we stay in honour, we bring a class action, 100, 200 of us, they can't act on us, we go to a higher court, we ask them for proof, and then they are then in default. They get the default judgment against them, and we can stay in our houses. And like I said, to anybody who has lost their house or been repossessed or had to sell it and lose, using this system, you too can get your money back. The standard rule of thumb is in the law is you can claim 3 times back what you paid, the value of what you paid. So in other words, if you had a 150 grand house, you managed to pay 100 grand off on your mortgage, then got in trouble, got it repossessed, you've paid 100 grand out. Using this, what I'm going to come up with and get, well, that I have come up with, I want people to join in once I've explained it. No risk or anything. Do it nice and steady and do it all above board. You can get on board if you've had your house repossessed and claim back. If it was 100 grand you've paid, you can claim back £300,000 in damages. So this is what I'm talking about, and it's not just about not paying your mortgage in a way. It's about reclaiming the land back of this country's land. It belongs to us. Once again, we've entrusted them people. We've been tricked and deceived. They think they own all the land. They don't own the land, and we don't own the land either. You can't own a piece of planet Earth, can you really? But what we can do, we've got a user's entitlement to use it for the rest of our lives, as we so wish, without paying through the nose for it, and hand it down to our kids. So they've got a user's entitlement. You can never own a piece of planet Earth, can you? But you can use it for what it's meant to be used, grow our own fruit and veg or whatever, be self-sufficient, and we'll look after the land, not like these bastards. They just stole it off us, haven't they? Meta there saying temporary beneficial usage. Yeah, brilliant, mate. Beneficial being the optimum word, isn't it? If we had our own, if each one of us now listening on this station now, everybody in the chat room and everybody at home, if we all had a little plot of land, what would we do? We'd look after the land, wouldn't we? We'd grow stuff on it, we'd treat the land good, wouldn't we? We wouldn't rape it, would we, and strip it of its minerals like these horrible bastards are doing. Yeah, so don't lose heart if you have been repossessed. Don't lose heart if you're struggling. Like myself, I don't want to be kicked out of this house, but I realise it's not mine. I can't take it with me, and I don't own it, do we? All we are doing is we are the guardians or stewards of planet Earth, aren't we? We're just renting it for a while and looking after it, aren't we? Until we've shuffled off and moved on to somebody else who inhabit that space. But that's not to say we can't fight for it and grab this land back, because it belongs to us. It doesn't belong to them. Yeah, so that's the package I'm putting together. Okay, so stuff like this is what I can't get out of the conferences and the talk presentations in time. So it's what I'm going to be getting out, like I say, on these workshops. Okay, I want to finish off on the last bit before I sum up. I'll sum up for the last 5 minutes. Just talk a little bit about car ownership as well as home ownership. I'll do that, but if you notice, I'm playing a little bit more music tonight. And that's because it's in honour of George, really. George was a musician, a great musician. By the way, the opening song I played tonight was called The Fear by Lily Allen. Good song, really. It sums everything up. But straight away, the second one was Wake Up Call, written by George in 2008, I think it was. Yeah, go on YouTube and put Wake Up Call by Reverend Wawa. That was his name for that. And have a look at the lyrics. George wrote it in 2008. I think it was uploaded to video in 2010. And yet, way back 4 years ago, it sums up everything that is happening and that is going to happen. And that's happening right now. So yeah, it's a good song, that Wake Up Call by the Rev there. Yeah, so that's why I played that, because we need a wake-up call. We've had a wake-up call, but we need to act on it now. We need to... It is a fight. We need to fight smart now. This is what I'm getting to. We've got some great people now involved with the station, some great people, groups linking up, some intelligent people, really intelligent people, like Rob B, who did a talk at our conference, and other people. Truth Dave, another clever chap who's fighting a good fight. So it's not all about fighting like two blokes on the street knocking lumps of shite out of each other. It's about fighting smart now. That's why I'm learning the words things. That's why I did the thing on the words. It's knowing their system and moving it back into it. So it's about fighting smart. So that's why I want to put the mortgage stuff out. Okay, so a couple more songs before we finish. Oh, it's past. I think I've got about 15 minutes tops, 40 minutes tops. Okay, that's all right. I'm just going to play you this. It might be... Actually, this is a good song, this, but it's listed here as somebody else, so it might not be the right song. So I'll stick this on. And if it goes off halfway through, it's because it's the wrong song. But I'll stick it on. If not, I've got a great one to finish with as a tribute to George. So, man's indomitable spirit can never be vanquished. Every fibre of our existence must be stirred to bring the ultimate resistance against tyranny, injustice and oppression, and extinguish these darkest forces of evil. May my arms be so strong as to carry my fallen brothers out of the darkness and into the light. For nothing, as long as we live, will ever be more important. That's a quote from a chap called Rob Freeman. Best quote. Thanks, mate. So yes, so I've got about 7 minutes left. Okay, I want to just briefly talk about cars, and then my final song to close out is in total honour to George. I'm just going to mention cars first, and then the final song is to George. Okay, a brief thing about cars to do, like the mortgages. I found a way to all you drivers out there where when you register your car or register anything, you give up ownership to the body you are registering to, for instance, DVLA. So they trick us into being the registered keeper. Look at your documents. You're always the registered keeper because we have all given ownership over by trickery. We've consented to it and become the registered keeper, and DVLA own the vehicles. So I've found a way where we can't deregister a way to take ownership back. All we have got is a user's entitlement. We're allowed to use the car, being only the keepers. We've voluntarily given away the ownership of it by registering, and as long as we use that vehicle the way DVLA tell us to, we're allowed to use it. We must tax it, must test it, must do exactly what they say. If not, they take it back off us, or we are due for a financial punishment. So I found a way where we can't deregister from them, but I found a way to unregister your vehicle. Another thing I'm going to be putting out at the day workshops is how to, and I'm doing it myself, I've got 3 friends doing it. So far, in almost 9 months now, no comebacks. For me, it's been about 5 months and no comebacks. I found a way to unregister your car, take back ownership of it. It can never be taken away. You're not deregistering, you're unregistering the vehicle. I've also found a way where we can self-insure. We can insure the vehicles ourselves. We stick £1,000 down, and barring perhaps another 20, 30 or 50 quid throughout our entire rest of our driving lives, we run on the £1,000 for the rest of our driving lives. And it's not a typical insurance. It's not payable every year. It's not renewable. You stick £1,000 down. You may have to stick another 20, 30 quid over the next 10 years, but if that. If not, you run forever for the rest of your driving life, all on £1,000. It's a bonded insurance. I know it can work. I've done it in and out. I've been through the entirety. Excuse me. I just need some more clever people than me to help me do it. And this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm coming from. The mortgages, the houses, the cars, the vehicles, and anything else, we've given up ownership of, and we're going to take it back. That's what I mean about mirroring. So yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing it in my shows in the coming weeks, but it's not the same because it warrants quite a lot of time spending on it, and 1-day workshops or 2-day workshops are perfect for it. Yeah, so I've been a bit under weather tonight. I've had a bit of cold, so not fantastic information, but I'll be back next week. So I want to close. How long we got? Oh, a few minutes left. It might run over. It might run over for a couple of minutes, Paul, but not very much. So yeah, I'm going to close up now. I've got a song here that sums up what I think of George. George, a very quiet man, but very clever. Like I say, you would see him in a crowd, in a large crowd, for instance, and he'd be really quiet, but very knowledgeable. Hated violence. George didn't like physical violence, like we all don't. But a fighter, and what I mean by fighter, a proper, true, spiritual warrior. I'm going to say goodbye to him tomorrow. For the time being, it's only tomorrow, it's not goodbye forever, it's just in this realm. But yeah, a proper spiritual warrior who, as Paul Giovanni quite rightly said, one of the main reasons why Liverpool and Manchester are closely linked in this truth movement, or whatever you want to call it, why they have joined up and almost become, I don't know, two brothers, twins, whatever. They've linked up so much in the truth movement, and I think our George had a massive part to play in that. So, well done, Rev. You were a fighter. You are a fighter. You inspire us to keep on going. I felt like packing in this week, and I know other people have. And it only lasted a few days. And I'm not going to pack in because we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our kids, we owe it to each other. And I personally owe it to George to carry on, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's me, time out. Thanks ever so much for listening to me. Not been a great show, but I've got a bit of cold. I'll be back next week. More facts, more tools to use against this oppression. So this is what I thought of George. It sums it all in this song, and this is my obligation that I feel that we've got to each other. So thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.